It is her destiny. Right, I can't do accents. In this video, I'll quickly recap Alpha's twisted journey, and I'll explain why Alpha's arc and Samantha Morton's performance make her the most compelling villain in The Walking Dead. Alpha is the leader of the Whisperers, a cult who wear walker skins to blend in with the undead. She believes emotions are weaknesses and only the strong survive. A true alpha female.
I'm Alpha.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. I'm Spider-Man then.
But here's the twist. She is also a mother, and her relationship with her daughter is cold, controlling, but underneath it all, there is that maternal love that she can't quite kill. It's the one thing that cracks her armour. Even Negan and the Governor are shaped by loss. Negan by guilt over losing his wife, and the Governor by holding on to his undead daughter.
Daddy still loves you. You know that, right? All right.
But where they spiral or deny reality, Alpha builds a whole ideology to suppress her humanity. Boom. You're seeing the final cut. That was about 10 takes to get that line right. You're welcome. Please subscribe. And it nearly works until it doesn't. But Alpha's arc doesn't drag. It escalates. And when it ends, it hits hard. No filler. No fake outs, just a villain who was terrifying and tragic. So let's start with the Governor. He had real potential. Cold, manipulative, with some skeletons in his closet. Creepy in all the right ways. Season 3 builds him up as this kind of ticking time bomb, set to explode in a brutal war with their protagonists in the prison.
Restitution for your own lack of insight, for failing to see the devil beside you.
Oh, I see him all right.
And then nothing. Remember that. The ending of season 3 of The Walking Dead, what a letdown. Let's build to this final confrontation at the end of the season and just not deliver on it. Whose fucking idea was that?
The Governor literally stands still out in the open during the prison shootout while everyone's apparently gone full stormtrooper with the sun in their eyes. And then he drops a van full of walkers inside the prison grounds and calls it a day.
Why don't you just shoot him now? Bang! Dead. Done.
One more peep out of you and you are grounded, mister, and I am not joking.
And when season 4 finally came back, it wasn't even about the Governor. It was about the group dealing with a deadly infection inside the prison, with Herschel stepping up as the moral core of the story. And remember, this was pre-Netflix, so you had to wait 8 months to finally see the Governor return on screen. So by the time he actually returned, the momentum from his storyline was gone. And yeah, he does give us one of the show's most brutal scenes.
Liar.
But it hurts his character. It makes him feel like a tool for shock value instead of a fully developed villain. His return wasn't about him and his conflict with Rick. It was about giving the audience a gut punch before finally taking him out. That's why when we talk about villains in The Walking Dead, the Governor just doesn't stand up. These were supposed to be huge climactic scenes featuring his character, and the show dropped the ball on both of them.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Dun 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 dun.
Now let's talk about Negan, because I'll kind of be honest, by season 8, kind of annoying. Too many speeches, too much smugness, and the all-out war storyline. Boy, did they drag that on. So the character got overexposed, which is a shame because he had such a strong introduction to the series.
You got me wrapped around your little finger, you know that? And it's not a man-woman thing. I mean, if you had a dick, I would still have these feelings.
The all-out war storyline was the final straw for a lot of viewers of this franchise. But then came the Alpha, and her dynamics with Negan made Negan so much more interesting. He felt dangerous again, and his infiltration of the Whisperers of Alpha's camp brought back that unpredictability. And what made it work so well is that our characters and the audience didn't know if we could trust him or not. Was he buying into Alpha's twisted view of the world, or was he playing her?
I'm all in. Whatever you want, whatever I got, it's yours.
Of course, we now know he was playing her the whole time, with Carol giving him one last shot at redemption. So the tension, it was real. And that's what made scenes with Negan during these seasons so compelling. Daryl being captured, Negan towing the line.
You should probably shoot me.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Turns out no one was in any real danger.
Okay, it's an implication of danger.
It all worked because the stakes felt genuine again. Alpha didn't just improve the show, she rescued Negan's character and gave the character and Jeffrey Dean Morgan his best material as Negan since his introduction. But before we go any further, if you are enjoying this video and you want to help a small channel grow, please check out some of the other videos that I have available and hit subscribe. But while Negan slowly became this anti-hero, Alpha doesn't do that. Always the villain, focused, terrifying. What really sets Alpha apart from every other villain though, it's the emotional weight behind her choices. The governor is trying to cling on to his daughter, Negan has his fucked up relationship with Lucille, Alpha is holding on to something much darker. She's trying to kill the part of herself that still feels something. That's something we have to talk about, because it wouldn't have worked without this great performance at the centre of it. Alpha could have easily been a quiet one-note villain. Masks, Whisperers, brutality. But Morton also brings restraint, nuance, a kind of quiet, simmering madness that's way more disturbing than any warlord. She's still, she's calm, and that's what makes her scary.
Follow me, because I am the Alpha. And if the Alpha doesn't assert herself, then there's chaos. So that is what I've done.
What did you do?
Before she was the Alpha, she was D, a mother trying to survive with her daughter and her partner in the early days of the outbreak. In the show, we see that D already views emotion as a liability. And she sees that in her partner, Lydia's father. The show heavily implies that she kills him. In the comics, it's confirmed. He's compassionate, he goes to help others. He goes against Alpha's decision making, and in her world, that's not on. He's got to go. This is the birth of this ideology. Cut off from emotion, detached from your humanity, or die. This is the way of the world now.
You brought a baby out here.
We're animals. Animals live out here. Animals are babies. So we have babies out here. I've seen how you live. It's a joke. Your communities are a shrine to a long-dead world. The Whisperers, we live as nature intended.
That's just all the bullshit you feed your sheep.
And then there's Lydia, our daughter that Alpha just can't let go of. Turns out your humanity isn't that easy to bury. Showing up at the hilltop to demand her back. Publicly, I suppose it's dominance, a leader claiming what's rightfully hers. Maybe even trying to maintain a bit of peace between the communities. But privately, I think it's desperation.
She's never coming back. No matter how much you wish for it, or how hard you try to replace her with someone else. She is gone, Alpha!
She's my baby. I could not get her.
In episode 10 of season 10, Alpha is wounded after a battle with Daryl. And Alpha, vulnerable, broken, begs Lydia to kill her and take her place.
I'm not here for them. I'm not here for you. They're human, not perfect. That's all I ever wanted.
Lydia has fully chosen this new community, a completely different way of life. And that rejection destroys Alpha. And that moment is where Alpha realizes she can no longer manipulate or control her daughter. So guess what?
And now you claim that you have to kill your own daughter, your own flesh and blood.
It is her destiny.
And Samantha Morton nails it here. Don't listen to the words, look at her face, look at her eyes. Someone trying to finally believe her own bullshit. There's nothing about her that's remotely human anymore. If she silences that love, she'll finally be free.
Lydia was made for this. To be free with me.
But the tragedy is, as much as she tried, she could never completely let go of her humanity. And that is what killed her. No softening, no fake outs, no redemptions are needed for this character. They just nailed it. So that is where I am at. Her arc didn't drag, it didn't twist for shock value. And in the end, she was undone by the lie that she built her whole identity on. That's what made her so compelling, what made her terrifying, and that's why Alpha is the best villain in The Walking Dead. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Who is The Walking Dead's best villain? And while we're at it, what season of the show is your personal favourite? Thank you once again for watching. I've been Scott of the Dead. Subscribe for dead honest takes like this every Monday, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.